What's happening, good people? What's happening? Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. You guys will get this on Wednesday morning, but it's Tuesday morning, and I'm back. I'm back for another episode of Bajillion. All right, so we left off yesterday on chapter 3. I had to do some things. I had to fix some things. As you can see, I moved my picture to the other side of the screen, and we're gonna play with that for a little while to see how that works out. To see if I don't even know if, let's see, yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure I could still shift to see my notes and everything. Yeah, we'll leave it on this side for now. I think it may look a little bit better. We'll see, but this is where we left off, and we're going to pick it back up here. I drank all of my coffee already and my water. So I may have to stop real quick to go get another bottle of water. Y'all hold tight. I'll be back in a second. Literally a second. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like a minute, maybe not a minute, but a second went by. But really, I had to go down and I went down to get some water and ended up watering plants, moving things around, shifting things around. It's about 10 minutes later, y'all. But I'm back. Pouring up some water. Almost forgot the water. I was about to head up the stairs and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't come down to do all this. I came down to do something else. Yeah, so apparently I got my water now. Number 1 dad cup. And we're about to get into it. And I almost changed. Y'all hear me out. I'm out of breath because I got plants way up on top of the bookshelves, and I got to go get a chair. And the chair is heavy. I got to take the chair to the living room and climb up on the chair, and then I got to get the heavy water can because it's full. And yeah, too early for all that. But anyway, I almost changed Jacob's name yesterday to Joraquim. Joraquim. JOR-KHEEM. If y'all think that might be possible, let me know. But I decided not to do that because I'm like, no. We're not gonna have no offense to any Sharkeishas out there. Any kind of strange, I won't say strange names, but unique names. Joraquim. We may come back to it if y'all think it's possible, but. And the reason I was going to do that is because I was watching one of those judge shows and they had the most ghetto. It was like Maury, a mixture of Maury and Jerry Springer combined with Judge. What's the judge name? It's a female judge, black female judge. She lost a husband. I forget her name, man. What's her name? But anyways, it was like a combination of all three of those. It was a judge show. And the baby... they was trying to figure out who the father of the baby was. And the mom was lying, saying she had never slept with this guy. And then she said, okay, I did sleep with the guy, but I never slept with him without a condom. And then, of course, the DNA test come back saying that he was the father. And the baby name was Joraquim. And I was like, oh, man, maybe I need to add a little bit of that to it. I was like, no, that's too much. No, we're going to keep this on the straight and narrow. Anyways, Mischief. A good friend of Sonia and sister of Jacob's good friend Toby. We decided to go with Toby instead of Freddie Jr., right? We may change Toby. Was Lily Nowak. A good friend of Sonia and sister to Jacob's good friend Toby was Lily Nowak. She was a proud young lady who, like Sonia, often showed a tough exterior, but on more than one occasion, with her guard down, shown a softer side, or at least from Jacob's perspective. That's really confusing. That whole two sentences I just read is kind of confusing. A good friend of Sonia and sister to Jacob's good friend, Toby. Oh, Toby, no. We're not going to have a Toby. We're not going to have a Joraquim. We're not going to have a Toby. I keep hearing a K. I keep hearing a K. Lily is fine. Yeah, Lily is fine. But Toby doesn't do it. Oh man, let's see something. We're gonna do something out of the ordinary real quick. We're gonna minimize this. All right, this is done. 45. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of all that. Don't save. Let's do something out of the ordinary. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this here. All right. Boy names. Boy first names. Starting with K. Ooh, Cain. That's a warrior name. Koresh. Some more. Carson. Kobe. Kobe. Kamari. Kennedy. Cairo. Kason. Yeah, I put a hyphen there. K-A-Y hyphen. You know? Kennedy, come on. I think Kason might work. Yeah, let's see how Kason looks, y'all. Let's see what Kason looks like. Okay, so Kason and Lily. Okay, let's try that. A good friend of Sonia and sister to Jacob's good friend Kason. Kason was Lily Nowak. A good friend of Sonia and sister to Jacob's good friend Kason. It's not going to be Toby. Kason was Lily Nowak. She was a proud young lady who, like Sonia, often showed a tough exterior, but on more than one occasion with her guard down, shown a softer side, or at least from Jacob's perspective. We can change all that later. Maybe it was the excessive boasting about her hair that made her seem just as conceited as Sonia. She had long curly locks that Jacob thought to be fairy tale like, but would never admit his fascination, not to anyone. So I gotta double down, let you guys know that I'm also in training as a voiceover. I'm joking, but it really I'm getting better at reading out loud and talking to a camera while doing this stuff. So it's getting better. I can tell it's getting a little bit better. I'm becoming a little more comfortable, and that's that rule of the more you do something, the better you get at it. That's just a rule. That's just an automatic law. The more you do, the more a baby stands on its 2 feet and take a couple steps and grab onto the couch or the coffee table or the wall or whatever, the more it does that, the less it will have to grab on anything. Eventually it's going to be walking, and then eventually running. you know. So that's a rule of thumb. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So that's where I'm at right now, and I'm recognizing that on this. I've been having that feeling for a while, but I can tell it's getting a little bit better today in particular. A good friend of Sonia, and sister to Jacob's good friend Kason. Let's say Kason. Was Lily let's look up Kason and see what that means. I'm wasting a lot of time this morning, but that's okay. I'm curious. I would be doing this if the camera wasn't on me, so let's see what Kason means. I gotta see what Jacob means too. It means healer. It's thought to be an Americanized version of the name Jason and has been in use since the 1990s. Okay, so Jason means healer. What does Jacob mean? These are things I would be doing had the camera not been on. Okay? The name Jason has multiple meanings and origins from the Greek word, I'm not even going to try that, which means to heal. Look at this. See, these are the serendipitous things that happen with writers. Writers, it's fiction, but it's not fiction. You see what I'm saying? I did not make this up. At 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes, y'all saw in real time me discovering that. Wait a minute, that's. I just made a boo boo. That's Jason, not Jacob. My bad. Jacob means. What does Jacob mean? Not Jason. Jason means healer as well as Kason, y'all. Alright, the name Jacob has multiple meanings, including supplanter. The name Jacob comes from the Hebrew word Yaakov, which can mean to supplant or to overreach. This meaning comes from the biblical story of Jacob, who was born holding on to his twin brother Esau's heel, foreshadowing Jacob's later actions to take Esau's place as the firstborn son. The name Jacob can also mean to follow or to be behind. Okay. The name Jacob can also mean may God protect or may he protect. May he protect. Heal. The name Jacob can also mean from Hebrew word for heal. Okay. Now that is that's a connection. I mean, this is a different type of heal. But anyways, Jacob is a classic name for boys that is popular across many cultures and religions. It is a significant figure in Judaism and Christianity, and is associated with strength, preservation, perseverance, and resilience. In the Bible, Jacob is a founder of Israel, and the nation was named after him. The 12 tribes of Israel were named after Jacob's son. There's a lot there, lot to unpack there. What about Sonia? Excuse me. Wisdom. Okay, you need wisdom. Sophia. Wow, Sophia. Okay, Sonia. Which also means wisdom. Greek goddess of wisdom, skill, and intelligence. So she's smart. She's really smart. Sonia became popular in Russia. In Russian culture in the 19th century, when it was used by the Russian nobility, the names associated with wisdom reflects the value placed on intellectual and moral virtue during that time. Okay. Just giving me a little more perspective on who I'm writing about, you know what I mean? Alright, Lily. Has multiple meanings and origins, including lily flower. The name lily derives from the Latin word lilium, which means lily flower. The lily is a symbol of purity, innocence, and beauty, and has been a popular name choice for girls throughout history. The lily can also be of Hebrew and Greek origin, meaning my God is an oath. Abbreviation is sometimes used. Elizabeth. Okay. My God is an oath. A gift to your home, baby lily. Alright, so we got a pretty good idea of what's going on now. 15 minutes into it. Okay, so now I'm thinking about Jacob's name now. What's going on with his name? Because I like the healer part, but that's Kason or Jason. Okay. Just throwing some ideas around. A good friend of Sonia and sister to Jacob's good friend Kason was the Lily Nowak. She was a proud young lady who, like Sonia, often showed a tough exterior. Tough exterior, but on more than one occasion, with her guard down, shown a softer side, or at least from Jacob's perspective. Maybe it was the excessive boasting about her hair that made her seem just as conceited as Sonia. She had long curly locks that Jacob thought to be fairy tale-like, but would never admit his fascination. In his mind, if the girl ever found herself being held hostage, in his imaginative mind, creative mind, in his imaginative mind, if the girl ever found herself being held hostage in a tower by a wicked witch, she'd only have to grow her hair long enough to one day let it down to allow some handsome prince to climb it in order to rescue her, or however the story went. Alright. Like Sonya, the girl also appeared outwardly to have all the confidence in the world. I think I said that already or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, let's see. Maybe it was the excessive boasting about her hair that made her seem just as conceited as Sonya. Alright. Like Sonya, the girl also appeared outwardly to have all the confidence in the world. Same thing. That's redundant. It was the glue. Okay. I keep saying bolstering. Bolstering is not a word. I don't think. Let's see. Nope. The boasting, not bolstering. The boastfulness, the boasting, the boastfulness, no. The boasting was the glue that held boasting was the glue that held the two girls, that held the girls in friendship. And since that now hilarious day when a petty argument broke out, and since that now hilarious day when a petty argument broke out in the second block between the two, y'all remember I'm not the best typer. The two over Jamel Turner, a boy that spoke to both of them in that way young men do. What did I write? DUE. When he wanted more than a conversation, they somehow inadvertently became friends and remained good friends ever since. All right. The boasting. Boastful is bragging, arrogant, aggrandizement, conceit, immodesty, self-importance. The immodesty is the glue. Yeah, that'll work. The immodesty, and I'm changing that because I got boasting up here. I don't want to, And the thesaurus is one of the best friends you can have as a writer like myself. My vocabulary is very limited, y'all. Very limited. I didn't read my first book. I mean, from beginning to end until I was 15 years old. And the ironic story about that is the book was called The Secret of Gumbo Grove by Gumbo Grove. The Secret of Gumbo Grove by Miss Eleanora E. Tate. Very good book. I read it when I was 15 years old. First novel I've ever read from beginning to end, 15 years old. And the ironic thing about that is Saving Miss Caroline, this book right here. I was writing this book. Can y'all see that? I was writing this book, Saving Miss Caroline. And I decided that I was writing a book. This is the first book ever published, right? When I was writing this book, I said, it would be great to write Miss Eleanora E. Tate to let her know that the first book I ever read in my life was her book. So I wrote her, and she wrote me back. She said, that's great. I'm an editor now. So I said, you're an editor? I said, well, I'm writing my first book. Would you be interested in editing my first book? And she said, absolutely. And guess what? She has credit in this book, if I can find it. I don't have my glasses on, but let me see. I think I gave her credit. I hope I did in this one. I may not have. This is not the original copy because I had to republish this myself. But I'm going to have to put her in this because I don't see her. Let me get my glasses on, y'all. Stop playing around. It's been almost 20 minutes. I'm at 30 minutes. Almost 30 minutes and I haven't written a lot, but that's okay. Y'all get the point. Let's see. The company. I just noticed that. This book also, the cover also needs some work done to it, so I don't really have anybody. Let's see. I have my wife. That's it. And it was more than my wife that went over this book. Let me see. Yeah. That's. I have to put her in here as she was the first one to edit this book. I think. No, she wasn't the first one, but she did her. It was like a. Yeah, she did some editing on this. Yeah, that's. Just found that out in real time, y'all. Real time. I don't have her. Anyways, she was the first one to edit that. Well, not the first, but she was the one that did the line editing. She did the line editing for Save Miss Caroline, and I got to give her credit for that. That's not cool. Anyways, the immodesty was the glue that held the girls in friendship, and since that now hilarious day when a petty argument broke out in second block between the two over Jamel Turner, a boy that spoke to both of them in that way young men do when they wanted more than conversation. When let's say he, let's take that he. When he wanted more than conversation, when he wanted more than just conversation. Just conversation, they somehow inadvertently became friends and remained good friends ever since. Okay, so now this is when I change Janetta, copy. Now I gotta go and do some changing here. Let's go ahead and let's do an advanced search, advanced find, replace all Janetta with, okay, do you want to continue searching from the beginning? Do you want to continue searching from the beginning? Yes. All done. We made 40 changes. What? Oh no, let's go back because what did I replace it with? Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. It might have just deleted it. Yeah, it deleted it. Alright, so I saw what happened, right? I replaced it with nothing because Janetta was here when Janetta, and so simple things like that when you have them, when you accidentally hit the wrong button too quick or whatever, this little undo replace all, see how that brought it right back? So now let me copy that again. Go back down here. Alright, go back here. Do advanced find. Replace with. So Lily. Replace all. Do you want to continue? All done. So now you come back here, everywhere everywhere Janetta was is now Lily. And Freddie, what's his name now? Kason. We'll do the same thing with Freddie. Copy. Go back here to advance. And Freddie is already there. We're gonna replace with Kason. Replace all 60. All done. So now you come up here and now you see wherever you see down here. Alright, so when Lily and Kason, we're gonna say Kason, I like Kason better. Kason moved from New Jersey 2 years prior to live with their grandfather. Now, we may have to make these changes manually. Frederick. Frederick. Let's just say Suge. Suge. When Lily and Kason moved from New Jersey 2 years prior to live with their grandfather, Suge, also Suge. Jacob and Kason seem to have become best buds overnight. The girls, however, never talked much at all whenever Suge brought his granddaughter over to the Wallaces to play. Lily and Kason were half Polish and half African American. Polish or white? Lily and Kason were biracial. Half white and half black. Polish really doesn't. Half white, and half black. Lily and Kason were biracial, half white and half black, being that most black people in the South didn't see any difference between the various white ethnicities. The two were considered by their black schoolmates as black or half white. So I guess I should leave Polish then. Lily and Kason were biracial. Alright, let's say Polish. Freak it. Half Polish and half black. Let's say African American. Lily and Kason were biracial, half Polish and half African American. But being that most black people in the South didn't see any difference between the various white ethnicities, European ethnicities, right? European ethnicities. Let's see. Ethnicity is the right word? Yeah, that's right. The two were considered by their black schoolmates as black or half white, which wasn't always a good thing. The part about being half white. Okay, I may have to go a little bit deeper with that. Both Sonia and Lily were the same age, Lily being slightly older by 2 months. By that, she often tried to use the small difference in age as a validation of seniority. Sonia seldom fell for it. Jacob was 1 year older than Kason, but neither of the boys seemed to care. Also living with their grandfather was their mother, Magdalena. Okay. I'm gonna have to change her name to Maggie. Magdalena. Their great grandmother, Louise, and their Aunt Penny. Okay. Who was their father's younger sister and Suge's only daughter. So who's the great grandmother? Okay. Also living with their grandfather was their mother, Magdalena. Suge's mother and their great grandmother Louise and their Aunt Penny, who was their father's younger sister and Suge's only daughter. Though she had never been diagnosed, though Penny had never been diagnosed, with any mental abnormalities, her crossed left eye and extreme shyness caused the average Green Pond resident to place judgment when it came to her soundness. When it came to her, soundness. When it came to her mental soundness. When it came to her diagnosis of any mental abnormalities, her crossed left eye and extreme shyness caused the average Green Pond resident to place judgment when it came to her. Mental acuity, mental acuity. Let's see, acuity. Okay, mental acuity. Diagnosed with any psychological abnormalities. Psychological abnormalities. I spelled that right. Look at that. Psychological abnormalities. Her crossed left eye and extreme shyness caused our average Green Pond resident to place judgment when it came to her mental acuity. Alright. When Suge's son, Frederick Sr. No, that's Frederick Jr. Suge is Frederick Sr. That's what we said earlier, right? When Suge's son, Frederick Jr., met their mother after moving to Connecticut, according to Lily, they fell in love but didn't get married due to several reasons. One being the family of the potential bride to be, a very traditional Polish family, was solely against mixing of the races. Magdalena was the first generation to actually grow up in the United States. Her parents had moved to New Jersey in the 70s and later moved to Connecticut after finding good jobs. Later starting a family there with Magdalena being the only child. Anyways, this is a lot of narrative, not a lot of dialogue. I'm noticing that. I know you guys are noticing that too. I'm not talking too much. I mean, nobody's speaking, but that's okay. They'll start talking so much that you'll want them to shut up. Okay. You'll be hearing their little voices after you stop reading. So don't worry about that. Magdalena was the first generation to actually grow up in the United States. Her parents had moved to New Jersey in the 70s and later moved to Connecticut after finding good jobs. Later starting a family there with Magdalena being the only child and by their only daughter getting pregnant. Therefore, when their only daughter got pregnant at the tender age of 19 by this big black funny sounding southerner. Therefore, when their only daughter got pregnant at the tender age of 19 by this big black funny sounding southerner, not humiliating, southerner, it was an embarrassing moment for the family. Where's the R in embarrassing? M, not bassing. Is it one R? It was an embarrassing moment for the family. It's humiliating, to say the least, and the start of the issue to come. That's the issue to come. I don't know. At age 25, with a little girl and a baby on the way, and living in Newark, New Jersey, when Magdalena had other family besides her judgmental parents. Frederick Jr. had begun to think that the family life wasn't for him. He'd left the home several times over the years. The two never got married. For that reason, both Lily and Kason shared their mother's last name, Nowak. When times got so bad for their mother, she called Suge 2 years before coming to Green Pond, crying her eyes out with nowhere to turn. Without hesitation, he invited her and the kids and the children to come live with him, and Penny to come live with him for as long as they needed. Okay. No family of mine is living on the streets if I can help it, he'd say to the Wallaces. Meanwhile, his son was still somewhere in New Jersey, some reported hooked on drugs and living with another woman and her children. Okay, it's been 43 minutes, y'all. 43 minutes. Now, we got through that section. We got through all of that. It was kind of, I had to kick it in gear, but we got through it. That's what happens. That's what happens to writers. We just gotta dig in deep and just keep moving. That's how a book is done. A book is written and published, especially if you are a self-published writer. When you dig your toes in the dirt and just push ahead, sometimes you gotta do that, and you gotta do that any kind of way you know how. Stephen King did it with, oh man, I don't even talk bad about Stephen King. I really don't, but you can see it in his interviews. Stephen King did it sometimes with cocaine and Budweiser and pills and marijuana. He writes about all of this in his book on writing. That's an excellent book to read if you're looking at becoming a writer. Excellent book. Now, I'm doing it today because I did it today. I managed to get to 44 minutes while speaking to you on camera with a little bit of caffeine and a little bit of water, and the fact that I'm not being rushed to go into any place to work, or I don't have any appointments, so I had the time. So do it the way that's safe for you. Safe. I don't suggest you go out there and do drugs in order to get through a book. No, I do not suggest that. Don't. Or alcohol, or whatever substance that could potentially harm you. I don't suggest doing that. Now, like I said, a little bit of caffeine. I woke up with a headache. So I took 2 Excedrins and I drank a cup of coffee, and that'll sustain me all day long. That's more than enough caffeine for me, because Excedrin is straight caffeine. And as long as I keep my brain lubricated, a little bit of water, I'm good to go. You know what I mean? But anyways, it's been 45 minutes. I thank y'all for stopping by. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm not worried about anything other than getting this book done. That's period. Blessings, salute to all y'all. Till next time, this is Anthony L. Kelly. I'm out.